Hello, and welcome to the Foothills of Appalachia. In today's video, I'm going to be demonstrating how I keep my garden weed free without spraying chemicals on it. It's just a lot of hard work pretty much, but this is how I do it right here, this old push plow. Now, this push plow, I don't know how old it is, but it's a lot older than I am, and it's been around a long time. But I'm guessing it was probably made in the 1930s or 1940s, and I bought it from an old man's collection that he had put up in a barn and in an estate sale. It's in really good shape. But this is how I keep my garden worked out without spending a bunch of money on gas. So anybody that has access to a push plow can do this. This is my main tool right here, and this good trusty Matic right here. I've had this Matic for 37 years. I bought it used at a flea market. Put a new handle in it. I've used it a lot for over the years, and it served me well. But I'm going to give a demonstration on how I use this push plow to keep my garden weed free without chemicals. But we hope you enjoy watching. so I'm going to give you a quick tour of my garden. I haven't explained what anything is in just my little short videos I've had, but I'm going to give you a grand tour. Okay, so in this first row right here, I let my grass grow up on kind of the deer. Had to put up a fence to keep the deer out, but I'm fixing to tear that down and get this place cleaned up, mowed. But I had to do something. The deer was eating up my corn and eating up everything. But in this first row right here is purple potatoes. You can see that they are still green and growing. They already bloomed and they're starting to lay over. The first ones I planted right here in this water tank right here, they're about done for. They about done all they're gonna do. Here's my sweet potatoes in a bucket. I got to get them set out. It's finally got dry enough I can get them in the ground. I got to get them in the ground today. But I got a row of purple potatoes right here. It won't be long, I'll be digging them up. All right, and then the next row over here, we have some bell pepper. Right here, I got some on that one. And that little plant in the middle, it died, and then I had to replace it with this one. It's coming on, and the next one there, it's got some bell pepper on it too, and they're about big enough to pick. I got leaves mulched around everything with leaves, real good. And we'll go right down through here, down the second row, and this is our tomatoes, and one of them died, and I had to replace it right there yesterday. I don't know what. I think it's just too much rain on them, and some of them just couldn't handle it. But there's a sickly one. I had to chop it plumb down. It's got a few tomatoes on it. Some of them's probably 5 feet tall. Everything's just had too much rain this year. Here's some more tomatoes, and right on down the row. Down here on the end, I got some cayenne pepper. And I got 5. And the one in the middle there, something happened to it. It's just set them all out at the same time, but you can see the difference there. But it's starting to bloom. There's a bloom on it right there. Right here, I had some onions, and I pulled about all of them. There's one left right there. All right, and on the next row right here, I have some butternut squash. I got 2 sunflowers right there. That thing's about 9 feet tall so far. The butternut squash are blooming. See if I can spot one to show you. Here's a little butternut squash to show you. And you can see they're blooming, doing good. See, I got in here with that push plow. This is the results. Now I'm gonna get in here with a hoe in between the rows and get this grass out. But here's some beans I have. These are just pole beans. There's some beans that I got from my grandfather. And let me tell you a little story about the beans. He was born, best I remember, in 1923. So he grew up during the Great Depression, and he knew what hard times was when he was a kid growing up. And his mother would buy a sack of dried beans, and it had mixed beans in it, and he would go through that sack of beans and he'd pick out these beans right here. And they were kind of a speckled bean to start with, but he got all the seeds out of it, and he saved them and planted them. and kept them just over the years. And I don't know how or why, but for some reason, instead of the bean being speckled, it turned out to be just red bean. And he has grown these beans since then, when he was just a young man. And he's kept them all these years and growed them. And I got these seeds from him. And if he was alive, he'd be about 103 years old, something like that. Do the math. But so these are one of a kind pole bean. He used to grow them in cornfield. He called them cornfield beans. But you can see I got a bunch of them in here coming on. They about ready to pick. Just wads of them in here. If they're good to eat fresh, or they're good to let them mature and dry. Cook them during the winter that way. But I like canned green beans a lot myself. Go on down through here, but a whole row of those beans. So now last year I had some rattlesnake beans, and I waited till this spring to pull the vines down and get them off my trellis. Anyways, I wound up with a couple of plants of rattlesnake beans. You can see them purple blooms, that's them right there. Now that's a good bean, but I wanted to get some fresh seed of my grandpa's beans. Now here's a rattlesnake bean. They have speckles or stripes on them, I guess that's why they call them rattlesnake. They're colored up. That's a really good bean too. And then right here, my beans end. Let me back up a little bit here. My beans end right here, and cucumbers start. I got them on the trellis as well. Got quite a few in there. I got to get them picked off today. There's my little pollinators. They're hard at work. There's a honeybee. I got in here and pruned these things, thinned them out. It's so thick I couldn't see. But yeah, I got several cucumbers. I need to get them off there. I think I'll give them off and give them away. And then right here in this fourth row, I have okra, which it's not blooming yet. It's right here, just almost waist high. A whole row of that. Then right here, I have 2 rows of sweet corn. It's kind of like peaches and cream. It's got a different name to it, but it's about like peaches and cream. It don't get real tall, but it's got some good, makes good corn. It got ears that's forming. They're starting to dry down. It won't be long. I'll be eating corn. Got 2 whole rows of that right there. And then right here, I got some zucchini and yellow squash, and the squash vine borers has got a hold of it, and I've kept the squash bugs off, but the vine borers got it. But I got some zucchini in there. Won't be long. I'll be ripping these out and replanting them. Got one there and one there. There's one and small one. Then I got yellow squash all in there. And then right here I got some brown crowder peas. And they're blooming, and they're, well, actually they're putting on pea pods. You can see right here what they look like. They make a big old pinkish purple pod. Them is good eating right there. Right there's one with a bloom on it, and then some small peas. Right there's some blooms. Got a row with them. And right here I got 2 pumpkin plants, just jack-o'-lantern pumpkins. The package said you could make a jack-o'-lantern out of them or eat them, either one. But maybe we'll get something out of them. And in this last row right here, I have my watermelons. And it has really done some raining. This spring it stayed wet and cold. I planted them twice, and they're late. They're gonna be late. I don't know if they'll make watermelons or not, but they're starting to grow. And I got several hills of watermelons, but these right here are Florida Giants. And I got some of my grandpa's watermelons right here. And I planted one real late. That's a black diamond right there. I don't know if it'll make one or not. These watermelons right here are the round crimson sweet watermelons. And then right here I have a yellow watermelon. It's just a dark green rind on it, and they're just round, but they're a really good watermelon. And then right here on the end I have some more yellow watermelons that came from the Sock Monkey, the K and Mac Project 69. But they came all the way from Brenham, Texas. You had a competition to, well, not a competition, but just a friendly competition to see who could grow these watermelons. And he sent them to about 9 or 10 different states around the country. And they're actually doing the best of any of them I got so far. They get more sun right here, I guess. That's more shaded out there. But hopefully we'll get some watermelons. Let's see. Right there's your little watermelon. Right there. I think I seen another one somewhere over here. Let's see. I moved the vines over where I could work it out here, work the weeds out. There's another one right there. So we getting some watermelons. They're gonna be late, but we'll get a few if they don't burn up in the hot summer heat. That's what we got in our little garden today. And oh yeah, we got everything mulched with leaves that we can. We got more leaves to put out. I think I'm gonna put them out down through here as far as they'll go. And that's another thing that helps my garden be weed free, is put leaves on it. Not only are you keeping the weeds suppressed, you're feeding the soil. These leaves will decompose, and every year you add them to it, your soil just gets better. These leaves I got on here are about 2 to 3 inches thick, maybe a little thicker than that in places. But they do a good job with keeping the grass out. You see here, no grass. So there you go. There's a tour of my little garden, what's going on here in North Georgia, and watermelons and all. The old push plow. But we hope you enjoyed watching the video, and we'd like to say we appreciate you taking the time to watch us. And if you haven't and you like this kind of content, give us a like and maybe subscribe. And we really would appreciate it. And we hope you have a blessed day. Thank you for watching.